Wilkinson going for the check. There's no fullback there. Jonny Wilkinson.
That's mainly kit from England stuff and Lions things. All these things, these boxes here are filled with England kit.
So is this England kit for everybody?
No, just mine. Just mine. Oh, shirts. All this stuff is just shorts. The crazy things like enormous big coats that say England on the back that obviously I would just never be seen dead in. I wouldn't want to wear something that told people that.
The overriding impression you get when I met him was he was just sports mad, you know, and he could do a lot of things, played a lot of games, and was very, very talented. And rugby was a real passion for him, and he worked very hard at it in those early days. I think that the obvious difference is that physically it's just become a totally different individual. From being quite slight and sort of, I suppose, in a way, quite a diminutive person in those days, he's now physically able to compete with anybody. He was pretty dedicated then, and he's just continued that trait through. Loved practicing, wanted to practice any sport in those days, and he's just carried that through as well. I think when I arrived, he had a key to the sports hall, so he could go and use it when he wanted.
Let's go. This works well for Jonny. He's got a good upper body, strong in his upper body, and you can visualise playing the game as well, you know. You just find out what works. And ultimately it is that, and he's off John, nice and steady, good lad. And ultimately at this level, the ultimate test is winning or losing. So at a lesser level you can afford to do school projects. At this level you can't really, you've got to get the best out of the lads.
Blackie was here first day I turned up at Newcastle, and I met him first minute I walked in, and then he took me under his wing, training wise.
Yeah, that's what I do there.
When you want me to be training with you, I'll give you everything I've got. And if you do that, then he was literally there to the extent I couldn't believe. Turn up at his house, train with him for 45 minutes and leave 2.5 hours later. I talk to him all the time about things, mostly none of them about rugby.
And again, John, just one rep. That's it, get aggressive. He wants to be the best player in the world. He wants to be the best player that's ever been in his position. I think he's quite open about that. And that drives him enormously. And that's what he keeps working for and pushing himself all the time. I don't think he's far off fulfilling that goal, really. But it's something that he's going to have to keep working at and trying to get better all through his career. And remember, he's only 22, 23. So he's not going to reach his best until he's 31. Just a vibration there. Elvis used to use it on his legs. Get above the head. It's hard, isn't it? That way.
That way?
Yeah, that's up and down.
Oh, God.
That's the worst.
Blackie's job description, everyone thinks he's the conditioning coach. He was basically brought in to create a winning environment, so whatever that covers is his job. So part of that is the conditioning. But he's one of those characters who everyone gets on with, and he's very astute in finding out what makes people tick and what motivates them. And then if someone needs a little, put an arm around them and a bit of a pep talk or a bit of a chat about how they are and things like that, then he'll go and do that.
Who's that? Who's that? Is he with you? No, I think that actually, be really serious for a minute. They're both great for each other. And Sparks has just got into the team in the Foreigners. And he's going to have a great career. Not to embarrass him, but I know he's going to have a great career because he's got great skills. He has actually spent the last few years supporting this fella here. And it's been fantastic for him. And it's very exciting for me training them both, seeing them both train together. And I'd like to think they can both talents can come to fruition at the same time.
Went on the Lions tournament and you just realise that this person, as well as family and everything, is the other reason why you're where you are. That's the way it's been, and I suppose that, I can't impress enough really upon anyone that wants to know about my career how much of an influence he's been.
The only thing wrong with him is obviously his attitude. Other than that, it's all right. He's training 23 hours a day, and that extra hour, I don't know what he does in it. If we could just tighten up a little bit during that hour, I think we've got a chance. He's not doing bad. 14 years of age.
This is out onto the course.
Good course?
Yeah, very good. PGA course, this is, so it's great sort of being here, being able to wander on, although not sure if I'm actually allowed to do that, but the tee-off's up there for that hole, and people constantly hooking balls into this bit of our garden here.
You don't have to buy any?
No, so we don't have to buy any. We found a few sort of a couple of feet from windows, but it's actually a pretty bad shot to get it in here. It's almost deliberately bad. I think maybe that some people do know that it's my house and generally try and take it out. So,
if he plays golf, the chances of him going around a course and playing every hole with just one ball are non-existent. Because if he hits a shot that he's not happy with, suddenly 4 or 5 will appear from his pocket and be hit from the same place, to the point of you start checking if the groundsman or anyone's coming around, because he just won't accept that he's hit a bad shot. He'll just play and play, whereas most people in the team are more in the buggy, out, grip it, rip it, back in the buggy and just chase it into the rough or whatever. He'll be looking at it, setting it up, checking it, like he's kicking. His catchphrase is 2 more for anything. So 2 more kicks, 1 more. Okay, let's go. 1 more, and he'll just keep going and going. So 1 more could last, 30 or 40 shots, or 20 rallies on the table downstairs, or on the golf course, until he runs out of balls from his bag.
Jonny's determination and love of playing and training means that, although he's so dedicated, it's a bit of fun to him as well, because it's what he enjoys doing. He is phenomenally dedicated. There's no question of that. More so than anybody I've seen for some time. Sometimes the enjoyment is being out there and actually being there in the moment. The enjoyment is kicking a ball and watching it sort of go well, and that satisfaction and that joy is there at that time. Sometimes I can struggle through a session and know that I've got to get it done, whether it's pouring down with rain or the strength of the wind is so bad they can't even stand the ball up. And the satisfaction and enjoyment of that comes in knowing in the afterwards, when you get home, and knowing that you've stuck at it. And I've never really wondered why I do that. It's just always seemed basic common sense to me, in that I'm desperate to achieve this something in my lifetime involving sport, and therefore this is what it's going to take. And I've never sort of stopped to think, do I really need to be doing this, or do I really want to be doing this? It's just a case of, when everyone, and the training session's over, it's like, well, I'll gather up the balls now because I'm going to do what I do. It's never a question of, do I need to, what am I gaining from this? It's just like, that's the way it's always been. I think that's the way it was when I was younger. It seemed simple. It seemed as though I was born to do it. Sometimes what keeps me out there is the fear of playing badly,